This is a Lyft driver, which, by the way, this resonates with me. And anyone in the chat who's ever been an Uber or Lyft driver or taxi driver, or anyone who's worked in customer service fields, this will resonate with you. This will hit hard.
I need to run back home. It should charge whatever it's going to charge on the app if you go back.
I can circle around, but then I'll have to cancel right because I'm already too far away.
So what's happening right now, if anyone's ever done Uber and Lyft, you will know exactly what I'm about to say, because my God, when I ever got a customer like this, because this has happened before, never been this bad. We'll get into it. But when you start your ride, that is like the fare. And it's like you pick someone up and you drive them to a destination and you drop them off. You can't drive like halfway. Say some place is like 20 minutes away. You can't drive 10 minutes towards a place and then they're like, oh, I forgot something at my house. I need to go back. It's like, I can't do that. Like, that will be your ride. I can't go all the way back to your house, have you get it. Then you get in the car again and we start driving again. That we don't get compensated for that. So this guy's trying to explain this to the passenger and he's being very polite to her about it. He's like, no, I can't. We're already too far. He's like, I can bring you back there, but you're going to need to request another ride because we're already too far on the ride, which is, again, how it works. And the way that these companies barely pay you for Lyft and Uber, like, it is slave labor. It is legit, like, bottom of the barrel. You're spending more on gas and repairs of your car than what you're actually making, especially after paying taxes on what you earn for tips and money with all of it. It's a brutal way to live. And I had to do it for about 1.5 years of my life when I was out of work and I needed to contribute to the family while I was trying to start a YouTube channel. And I was like, this is something that works around the schedule for that. So anyways, she's asking him to turn around here. And he's like, I can't, we're too far away. See, listen to where it goes here.
So I can loop back around, but then you'll have to reorder it.
You'll have to reorder it.
Then I'm going to be paying the whole $13.
Then I'll be paying the whole $13 again. Like, hold on. This guy's like, he put his hand up, like, you can tell what he's thinking. He's like, and that's my problem. How? He's like, this is how it works. You ordered a car. I came and picked you up. I drove 10 minutes away and you're telling me to turn around to go back to your house. So this is how it works. And he's just like, oh, he's definitely not a simp. You'll see where this goes. $13, says Max K. What a effing cheapskate. Max, I'll tell you, man, driving people, you'll meet some very generous people and you'll meet some people that will argue over 28 cents. It's like people are all over the map when it comes to money for this stuff.
Let me know what you'd like me to do. I'm going to drop you.
Go, drop me off because that's stupid. I'm not about to pay a whole another $15, $20, $13.
Do you want me to drop you back home or not?
So he's saying, what do you want me to do? You want me to drop you off? He's talking about your final destination, or do you want me to turn around, loop around, and go back to your house? Because we're halfway to the destination. So he's asking her, to go, you want me to continue this or go back? And she says, I want you to drop me off, which I take as, okay, you want me to take you to the final destination, but then he wants to clarify it with her, like, drop you off at home or drop you off at the final destination?
I'm telling you what your options are.
I'll just cancel the ride.
I'll just cancel the ride. While she's in the car, she's going to just cancel the ride, which I believe if you do that while you're driving, at least when I was doing it, it would still charge you. It might be like a portion of the fee. It might be the whole fee. But Dementiaville, you just wait for where this goes.
Thank you. Never been through this.
I've never been through this, but that white shit. So please, okay? And this guy, I mean, he's just trying to do his job. He's just driving this person like, come on, lady. Like, I'm doing what I'm supposed to do here.
It's that white shit. Please.
Okay.
So she says that, and I'm sorry, when someone opens the door to, it's going to start going down that road, to me, that is okay. This is the direction the conversation's going to go. She started it. Like, this is how a fight works. She just started it right there, and he's like, okay, that's how this is going to go.
And nothing to do with race, but
Nothing to do with race, but I'm not going to repeat this part.
you're gonna act like it and be.
I'll be one.
All right,
Thank you.
get the
She says, I'll be one. He goes, all right, thank you.
fuck out of my car.
I will.
Get the fuck out of my car. So you can see here that this situation escalated quite quickly, but it was just a verbal interaction. But she opened the door to it, turning it into a race conversation when he's just letting her know what the rules are when you drive for Uber and Lyft. And I see the chat here. People are like, yeah, she earned that. I'll allow it. She started it. I'm not even mad. So that video would be enough to just talk about and be like, oh, that's wild. That's wild. What would I tell you if after this situation happened, this lady that left the car decided to contact Lyft and report him for the situation? And Lyft automatically, instantly revoked his ability to ever drive and work for them again. Instantly. And I can tell you, not that it ever happened to me, but from personal experience, working as a Lyft and Uber driver for a while, I heard stories about customers, if they ever just want to be a complete bitch and ruin your life, they could make up a story about how bad or you harass them, or they could have a mental illness. It doesn't matter. If they contact Uber and Lyft and say that you could have a perfect 5-star rating forever, you could be driving with them for 10 years. If one person ever calls and says, oh, you made them feel uncomfortable in the car, they revoke your license for driving with them instantly. It's insanity how it works, how it operates, and how they go about things. So this guy just got his job taken away from him for trying to follow the rules and then conversing and engaging in a conversation with someone who started going down a road and clearly was perfectly fine with the conversation, because she was saying, yep, you can call me that. Like, what? Sergeant Sabian says it's why I only ever do food delivery. I've heard a lot of people say like food delivery is the way to go, because first off, being an Uber and Lyft driver, you put yourself in so much danger every single day, because you never know who you're picking up. You don't know if they're having a bad day, if they're a serial killer, if they're crazy, if they want to claim that you did something to them. People are nuts. And these Uber and Lyft drivers do not get compensated enough for how hard they work and how hard they drive. Like, I would have drives where I'd be driving from when my wife got home from work, which was around like 8:30 p.m. at night, back when we had the kids that were younger, so someone had to be watching the kids at all times type thing. And I would tag out. I'd give her a kiss, I'd give her a hug, and I'd head to the car and I would start driving all night. And I'd sleep a little bit and I'd wake up and she'd go to work and we'd do it all over again the next day. Like, it was a struggle session to make our life get through a tough time. And the compensation for driving all night, I might make, after taxes, gas, wear and tear on the car, I might make $150 cash. Maybe for a whole night of eight hours of driving. Like, sure, it might say like, oh, you made $400. It's like, yep, how much you paying in gas? How much you paying in tax out of that? And then you cut down everything out of it. You got to wear and tear on your car. You got to pay for all the repairs on everything. The tires need to be repaired, everything. Like, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. And my my back would start to ache because I'd just be sitting for 8 to 10 hours at a time. It was brutal. It was brutal. So this guy, like I said, just doing his job and straight up gets fired. So then we have this. And I think this is very interesting. And I wouldn't be surprised if this is going to be a situation that major channels are going to start picking up on, because this is another one of those situations where, yep, there's a GiveSendGo. I have not gifted or donated to this yet, but I am considering, because I just found out about this like an hour ago. And I was like, oh, I want to talk about this on the channel, but I'll share it in the chat. And this is a GiveSendGo that he is running right now. And we're going to read through this because I thought that was pretty interesting. Right now, he has a goal of $7,000. And this is from yesterday. He's already raised almost $7,000. And I have a feeling this is going to, if this gets like national news, this is going to go gangbusters. Help me replace my lost income. I am a part-time Lyft driver. I do this on the side to bring in extra money. On May 11th, 2025, I gave a ride to a passenger. Unfortunately, she forgot something at her house and demanded I return so she could retrieve it. Lyft drivers aren't compensated for that. So rather than canceling the ride on her, I offered her the alternative option of taking her back home and ending the ride there, which, by the way, I don't think he even has to do that. I don't know how it works now with it, but he was going over the top to be kind with her. Be like, look, I can drive you back to the house. That would be the full ride. And she wasn't having it. She could then order another one. Rather than being grateful for that courtesy, she flipped out and began to complain about how much money it would cost her to do that, which was, I believe, $13. She then called me a racial slur, white shit, completely unprompted. I was not going to allow myself to be on the receiving end of racial verbal abuse. So I stood up for myself and called her what she was. And oh, by the way, could you imagine if this roles were reversed? If this was a black driver and a white passenger, how Lyft would be handling it, by the way. I think we all know it would be handled a lot differently. Let's be real about the two-tiered justice system with racial inequality the world is actually living in right now. Rather than Lyft banning the passenger from the platform, I was permanently deactivated for discriminatory behavior. Now I'm left without a substantial side stream of income. Initially, I declined to set up a GiveSendGo because I know how hard people work for their money, and without any adverse consequences at the time, I felt it was wrong to ask for money. Sadly, that didn't last even 24 hours. I'm humbly asking those who are willing to help replace a year's worth of income from Lyft, which for me is around $7,000. Thank you in advance for your support. So this, let's see, some of these, keep your head up, $5. Look at these people just dropping $5, $5, $20, $10. As a man of color, I support you for standing up to entitled dumb bimbos. Jesus bless you, and he will look after you and your family forever. So yeah, this guy, it's Avi Rashlin. He got completely boned by the system, and I am extremely frustrated, we'll just say, for how this was handled by Lyft. And it really does need some community support. So I stand behind this situation. I do. FazeB says, I feel bad for the guy. I do too. I do too. Like, here's the thing. If you've never worked in the service industry, if you've never driven for Uber and Lyft, you may initially hear this guy and be like, oh, that he was out of line with that. He shouldn't have said those things, this, that, the other thing. You might feel that way. If you're driving for 8 to 10 hours and you know you're making like $2 on this ride they're paying $13, because that's, oh, by the way, that's like what you make on the ride. If they're paying $13, you're probably making somewhere between $2.50 and $4.80 on a $13 ride. Like that's how it works. They take all the money. You don't get that. That goes to them. That goes to Lyft. That goes to Uber. You barely get anything from what they pay. It's ridiculous. So yeah, I will leave that there. And I hope that this just goes absolutely bonkers. I would love to see this go to 6 figures or beyond, because that would be really sending a message to the situation. Exactly, Asian Swordmaster. He says he's not paid to take shit from people. Exactly. Jeremy Webb says no one likes racism, but it's not a one-way street. Exactly. I feel like these companies are trying to be like, oh no, it's okay if they say racial things to you, but if you ever respond with racial things, you get fired. It's like, no. That's not how these jobs work. You cannot implement that kind of rule system. You need to hold the customers to the same standards that you're holding your workers to in a customer service job where you're driving people. That it's a very intimate environment, one-on-one. It doesn't work like other businesses do. Exactly, FaceBeast. Customer service in general is a tough area to work. It is. And that's why my heart goes out to people working in the service industry, because I've done it. And yeah, I know. I'm like, man, I was not cut out for it. It was brutal. I agree, Justin Time. That's a good point too. I'm glad you said that. Justin Time says using the N-word wouldn't have been my choice, but I get it. That's where I am too. I wouldn't have said it, but I get it. Definitely would have called her ghetto. Yeah. Anyways,